have you on Planetterrian Daily, episode 121, coming to you on July 15th, 2026. Here's your science and health briefing. Biodiversity delivers the largest productivity gains to drier grasslands precisely during extreme drought. A global synthesis of 75 biodiversity experiments found that drier grasslands gain the greatest productivity benefit from higher species diversity when extreme drought hits. Forests showed no comparable context-dependent pattern. Researchers at Yokohama National University published the results in Nature, Ecology, and Evolution. The pattern indicates diversity stabilizes biomass production specifically where water stress is already high. Follow-up work will test whether the same relationship holds under combined heat and drought. Most people assume biodiversity mainly preserves rare species for their own sake. In reality, diverse plant communities buffer ecosystem productivity most strongly when conditions turn harsh. Right now, as grasslands experience longer dry spells, the extra species present convert limited water into biomass more reliably than monocultures. One memorable number is that the synthesis drew on 75 separate experiments spanning multiple continents. The practical takeaway is to favor mixed plantings in restoration projects or farm margins rather than single crop or single grass solutions. Those mixtures are the ones most likely to maintain output when drought arrives. Field trials by Vrije Universiteit Brussels and UC Louvain demonstrated that nature-inclusive farming practices can maintain food production while restoring species diversity. The biological conservation study quantified both yield and ecological metrics. Soil health and pollinator abundance improved without external inputs. Larger farm networks will test scalability across European regions. The approach is termed agro-wilding. Captive chimpanzees consistently chose crystals and examined them with prolonged attention, suggesting an innate attraction to the same visual features that drew early humans. The behavior appeared before any practical use for the objects. Researchers propose the preference predates tool-making and may reflect sensory bias. Further tests will compare responses across primate species. The observations were reported by Science Daily. Now we turn from ecosystem buffering under stress to how social and cultural factors may buffer human aging. Older adults who regularly attended cinema, museums, or concerts showed body function measures equivalent to people roughly 3 years younger. Stronger social connections, improved mental health, and healthier behaviors are proposed as linking mechanisms. The observational study could not establish direct causation. Researchers call for trials that test whether increasing cultural engagement slows functional decline. From individual health behaviors, we move to population-level environmental exposures that also shape birth outcomes. Analysis of 735,831 singleton births in New Zealand linked higher nitrate concentrations at maternal residence to elevated preterm delivery, even below current regulatory limits. The environmental research study covered births from 2008 to 2021. No safe threshold was identified within the observed range. Public health follow-up will examine whether treatment upgrades reduce the association. Public health findings on water quality lead us to another early life mechanism, this time in amphibians facing a deadly pathogen. Survivors of the chytrid fungus develop robust immune defenses while still tadpoles, before metamorphosis exposes them to the pathogen. The work also cataloged a large set of previously unknown antimicrobial peptides. University College London, ZSL, and Imperial College London led the study. The peptides may offer templates for new anti-infective compounds. Next steps include testing whether early life immune training can be replicated in captive breeding programs. Hydrogen oxidizing bacteria produced more polyarsine down 3-hydroxybutyrate when carbon dioxide was reduced under non-flammable gas conditions. The process enables safer, more efficient gas fermentation for the bioplastic. The study demonstrates a route to couple carbon recycling with lower energy input. Scale-up trials are planned to confirm industrial viability. The findings were published in phys.org. Southampton and Singapore researchers developed an electric field and water-based assembly technique that avoids solvent residues in atomically thin stacks. The ultra-clean interfaces are intended for quantum devices and advanced electronics. The approach bypasses conventional transfer steps that introduce defects. Prototype quantum sensors are the first targeted application. The method was described in phys.org. Current carbon emissions are altering ocean chemistry at a rate that connects present-day outputs to deep-time geological records. The signal integrates atmospheric CO2 with long-term carbon cycle memory. Researchers argue this framing expands the variable beyond local ecosystem impacts. Monitoring networks will track whether the signal strengthens predictably with cumulative emissions. The analysis appeared in phys.org. Brown University scientists produced new thickness estimates for the Moon's loose surface layer using orbital and sample data. The maps refine landing site selection and resource utilization models. Thinner regolith zones may expose more bedrock for construction. Additional orbital datasets will refine the global model. The estimates were reported by phys.org. From immune mechanisms in nature, we shift to a simple dietary interaction that alters human nitrite levels. Participants who chewed sugary gum after nitrate-rich vegetables or beetroot juice generated more nitrite and showed a transient drop in blood pressure. The effect stems from enhanced oral nitrate reduction. Researchers aim to develop sugar-free alternatives that preserve the benefit. Larger trials will test sustained cardiovascular outcomes. Oral biology gives way to an enzyme that acts inside human cells to clear long-lived protein damage. The enzyme removes accumulated damage from long-lived proteins in human tissue samples. Treated cells showed reversal of molecular aging signatures spanning decades. The work remains at the in vitro stage. In vivo delivery and safety studies are required before any therapeutic consideration. A wearable that activates the vagus nerve increases blood clot formation and may offer a non-invasive option for life-threatening hemorrhage. Preclinical data support further device optimization. Human safety studies are the immediate next step. The approach could complement existing tourniquet and pharmacologic methods. The device development was covered by Fierce Biotech. From molecular repair inside cells, we look at brain electrical feedback that aims to improve cognition. Patients with Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, dementia, or traumatic brain injury showed cognitive gains after sessions that fed back real-time brain electrical activity. The study measured performance on standardized neuropsychological tests. Larger controlled trials will determine durability of the effect. Device refinement focuses on wearable form factors. From clinical neurotech, we close with a forward-looking concern about everyday technology use. Widely available chatbots now handle writing, coding, and planning tasks, raising concern that reduced practice could erode human capabilities. No longitudinal data yet quantify the effect. Cognitive scientists are designing studies that track skill trajectories with and without AI assistance. Early findings will inform guidelines for education and professional training. Next time, keep an eye on further results from the New Zealand birth cohort as regulators consider lowering the permitted nitrate threshold. That's Planetterrian Daily for today. If you enjoyed this, a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify really helps new listeners find the show. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow. And if you'd rather watch than listen, find us on YouTube at Nera Network. Links in the show notes. And before you go, this show is part of the Nera Network, a family of daily podcasts on tech, science, and markets, each one a short, sharp briefing you can finish on the commute. If today earned its place in your feed, here's your next listen. The Do Positive Pod, good news in science and tech, plus one concrete action you can take. Find every show free at neranetwork.com. New to the network? neranetwork.com/start-here picks the right daily briefing for you in about 2 minutes. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.